What you reading there, friendo?
The stupid book that you asked me to read.
Book's not stupid.
This is the stupidest book I've ever read in my life.
That can't be right.
You know what? Let's argue. Oftentimes we find ourselves in a situation in which we have to enter into an argument with another person, and losing at arguments is infuriating. So today, I'm going to ensure that you never lose an argument ever again. That's right. You're going to learn how to construct the perfect argument. Now, in order to construct the perfect argument, you're going to need something called a thesis statement. And a thesis statement basically has three main parts. The first part is going to be a narrowly defined topic, or in other words, the limited subject. This is the specific thing that we are talking about, the specific subject of our argument. Next, you're going to have something called the claim, or the precise opinion. This is your specific stance on the topic. In an argument, this is going to be the side that you take. Lastly, we have something called the plan, or the blueprint of reasons. This is where we prove our point and show the other person that we are in fact correct. Now, in order to construct the perfect argument, you don't need the perfect subject, you don't need the perfect stance. All you need is a place to start. An argument can be made about anything. You could have the perfect argument about something as stupid as Danny DeVito would give excellent makeovers. So now, how would we go about proving that Danny DeVito would give such great makeovers? Well, we would start by making sure that we created a proper thesis statement. Let's review that real quick. First, the narrowly defined topic. For us, the narrowly defined topic is going to be Mr. Danny DeVito. Next, we have to have the claim, or the precise opinion, the side of this argument that we are going to take. And the claim that we are making is that our subject, Danny DeVito, would be great at giving makeovers. And then lastly, we need to create a plan, or a list of reasons for why we are correct. In our case, the three things that we are going to list are Danny DeVito's height, his home life in New Jersey, and a surprise one that I'm going to wait to reveal at the end. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how that argument might go if you were to completely flesh it out. But you know what? Why don't we give this argument like lawyers? Esteemed members of the jury, Your Honor, and everyone who has come to watch this case, I believe that without a shadow of a doubt, that our subject, Mr. Danny DeVito, would give incredible makeovers. Like a milk stool, my case rests on three legs. The first being his height, the second being his home life in New Jersey, and the third, which I will reserve until the end. First, ladies and gentlemen of the court, Danny DeVito stands at 4 feet 10 inches. Does anybody happen to know what the average height of a salon chair is? The average height of a salon chair from the floor to the bottom of the seat is about 20 inches, adjustable up to 26 inches. This would mean that Danny DeVito, if he were doing hair or makeup, would be standing eye level with the subject at hand. Therefore, with his close proximity, he would be able to examine in a greater amount of detail than anybody else could, because a normal heighted person may have to hunch over in order to look at the fine details of the makeup or the hair, but Danny DeVito just has to look straight on, and this is an excellent advantage. Also, in terms of performing low lights on hairs or anything in which the underside of the hair may need to be addressed, Danny DeVito could simply raise the chair and be able to look at the underside from an angle that other people would not be able to. Second is his home life in New Jersey. Now, Danny DeVito grew up in New Jersey in the 60s, and I think we all know what hairstyles and makeup styles in the 60s in New Jersey were like. It's also worth noting that during his home life in New Jersey, Danny DeVito lived with an older sister who herself was adept at these sorts of hairstyles and makeup styles. His older sister was surely good at these things because she opened up her own beauty shop and performed these types of services as a business for a great deal of time. My third and final reason for believing that Mr. Danny DeVito would be amazing at giving makeovers is this one simple fact. Between the year he graduated and the time that he finally went on to performing arts school, there was an 18-month period in which Danny DeVito was not enrolled in any school. Danny DeVito was actually working. And where was he working, I hear you ask? Well, I will tell you. Danny DeVito spent 18 months working in his sister's hair salon as a hairstylist. This means that Danny DeVito already has the experience needed in order to perform a good makeover, especially having done this during the 60s in New Jersey. When Mr. DeVito originally applied to a performing arts academy, he applied to learn the art of stage and screen makeup. It was only after a monologue as part of his audition process that he decided he would take some acting classes as well. This means that Danny DeVito has also taken classes in makeup, possibly even furthered his education in hairstyling. Danny DeVito already knows what he's doing when it comes to performing makeup and hair beautification. I believe when you look at the evidence of Mr. DeVito's height, his home life in New Jersey, and his experience in the field of beautification, there can only be one conclusion, and that is that Mr. DeVito would make an excellent makeover artist. I rest my case.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. What a good, excellent.